Hello, my dear gardeners. Clay soil. When it is dry, it is rock hard. When it is wet, it is soupy mess and impossible to plant in. But majority of gardeners do not realize that clay soil can be the best candidate to turn it with proper care, to turn it into the golden standard of garden soil, loam. And this video is especially for Samantha. We are going to go two ways. The first one, when you didn't plant yet, and there is plenty of things you can do with that soil. And the second route would be when you already planted. So how do we turn that clay into loam? Olga, Carmody with you, Master Gardener from Connecticut. Bugs are out and they are all over the place. So I have two good news for Samantha. The first good news is that majority of us, we do not start automatically in our gardens with rich loam. We start on imperfect soils. For example, here in Connecticut, we have sandy soils. I'm very lucky that I am gardening on the area which used to be pig farm, so pigs did improve the soil, and I can feel it. I compare my soil with all the distant neighbors. My soil is better. But majority of gardeners, they start their garden with imperfect soil, and through patient improvements, they bring that soil into beautiful loam. And what is loam? Loam is a golden standard. Loam soil is where three parts are well balanced. So we have sand, we have silt, and we have clay. Sand is responsible for air pockets and drainage. Majority of plants do love that beautiful drainage, and roots do need air pockets. It sounds interesting. Majority of gardeners do not know, but roots do need air. And there is air in the soil. Aeration is very important. Second component is silt. Silt is responsible for structure and nutrients. And clay also, nutrients. Clay can hold nutrients, and that is the beauty of clay soil. If I had to choose where to be between clay soil garden or sand soil garden, I would choose clay soil garden, because with improvements, I can turn it quickly into loam. Why is that? Clay holds nutrients. It's not leaching nutrients constantly. Sandy soil, here I constantly add that organic matter, and it's leaching out because sand is just going away. So everything is slowly leaching out. So I constantly have to add organic stuff into the soil to keep my plants happy. But folks who garden on clay soil holds all the nutrients, and if we improve the drainage of that soil, that is the perfect thing for the garden. So two ways we can do it. When we have soil which is not worked on, we didn't plant anything in it. And the second scenario is if you have established plants, they're planted, you cannot dig them up, fix the soil. Although I saw some gardeners doing it, which is hilarious. So scenario number one. Hold on, I didn't tell Samantha about the second good news. Well, the second good news is that clay soil can be so well amended and changed into loam. So that's the second good news. Okay, so we have first scenario. The soil is bare, we didn't plant anything yet. We know we have clay, and there is deep clay, there is somewhat clayish soil, so there is a gradation. We have to keep that in mind too. And if you don't know what type of soil you have, and you don't want to do this test of squeezing soil and see how it behaves because you don't know how it's going to behave, right? The easiest thing you can do, you can dig a hole in your garden, like a typical planting hole, right? And put water into it, half a bucket of water, and see what that water does. If you have sandy soils, that water is going to disappear 10 minutes. In my garden, not even 10 minutes, that water goes away, sandy soils. Half an hour, soil is still on the sandy side, but if you took a nap, woke up, and that soil and that water is still there, sitting without drainage, it means you have a clay amount in your soil. That clay amount is high. Clay does not drain well. So we have to help that clay to drain, because majority of plants do not like waterlogged conditions. And there was a we had discussion under some of the videos about hostas. Hostas are somewhat tolerant of clay, but they cannot tolerate heavy clay. So improvement in soil is beneficial for hostas. Roses, on another side, they can take some clay because they do love that rich, nutrient-rich soil, but they are not very happy in clay at all. They do need nice drainage, right? So where did I go? I take these long roots around. Oh, okay. So we have empty soil and we're ready to plant. Well, get yourself your muscles, get yourself a nice shovel, and let's go digging. Because what I did to my raised bed here, I just put a little bit of layer of organic matter, refresh on top. That is not going to work for clay soil. You have to work this probable amount of soil. So 10 inches is the least which you have to work, but I like to go 2 spade lengths down and really dig it up and mix. What do you mix? You mix organic matter. You add organic matter into that soil. So organic matter helps clay soil drain well. Organic matter helps sandy soil retain moisture and nutrients. So organic matter is the best. And if you're not doing composting, you should do it by all means in your garden. Doesn't matter how big or small your garden is. My garden is on the small side, and here's the video how I very successfully do it. Believe me, it's very satisfying. So you can't just do a little bit of either leaf mold or manure or whatever organic you have. You have to add a lot. And by a lot, I mean from 30 to 50% of all that soil which you are mixing and digging. And you have to really mix it well, mix it deep. Preferably, it's better to do it in the fall for spring planting, but don't worry if you didn't do it in the fall. Spring mixing of soil is also acceptable. Your plants are not going to mind. We're talking about this ideal situation, which, okay, in my garden, very rare ideal situation is happening. I'm always cutting corners, always running behind the schedule. Here's my butterfly bush. I still didn't cut it. It's already leafing out, so forget about ideal, right? You can do it in spring and your plants are going to be happy. So that's scenario number 1, muscles and shovel. And believe me, that soil, after 1 year, you will have great success with that clay soil. Well, scenario number 2, when your plants are already planted and oopsie, you realize your soil is clay and your plants are struggling what to do. Well, if you don't want to replant or bring your plants into another location, into raised beds, let's say situation, I saw some people do it, you will improve with persistence and patience. In several years, you will improve that clay soil. How to do it? Again, introducing organic matter several times a year. You top dress 2-3 inches top dressing with organic matter. For example, here in my garden, how did I refresh my soil in all the raised beds? I top dressed it with 50% leaf mold and 50% of cow manure. And what happens? It's not going to sit there on top of the soil. The rain slowly takes it down. Worms, they do love that natural stuff, that organic stuff, so they take it down. Eventually, all that will penetrate the soil. What else I can do? Sometimes I do for my pots. To refresh that soil, I do compost tea. So basically what you do, the simple one, again, cutting corners, right? Not the ideal one. You put water into your compost, into whatever organic you have, let it sit for several days, and then with that water, you water the soil. So all the nutrients and microelements are dissolved there, and water is taking all that stuff down into the soil. You can do that as well. But here, what is important is consistency, and several times a year you have to address that soil. You can slightly work the soil, the organic matter in the soil around the root system without disturbing them. And eventually, 2-3 years, you will have the improvement in your clay soil. But the best case scenario is before you plant, before you start your garden, you learn what soil you have. Do all the improvements, save yourself a headache of failed plants, right? I understand it's a lot of work, but you are investing into many years of success when you do it right, when you prepare your soil right from the very beginning, and you spend a lot of, physical effort to dig it all. I remember when I was little, on a regular basis, we would turn soil in my granny's garden, and I like that. Honest physical work in the garden. You dig it up, and at the end of the day, your soul is tired in a good way, and you feel good about it. A good job was done. You feel that your soil is mixed well. You prepare it for your plants, and your plants are happy. So Samantha, good news is you're not alone. Another good news is your clay is perfect to turn it into loam with good effort and some patience. My dear gardeners, if you found this video helpful, please do subscribe, and I will see you in my beautiful garden very soon, because spring is wonderful. Oh my gosh, I love to be in the garden. All right, happy gardening.